Welcome to Know Your Right, a show that seeks to amplify the work and the voice of CSOs in Bulawayo and Matebeleland. My name is Brighton Ncube. Today on the show I'm joined by Kundzekweguta, the Director of Women Association of Survivors based right here in Bulawayo. Kuda, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brighton, for having me.
Right, Kuda, what is WAS?
Women Association of Survivors, it's a non-profit organization which helps young women and girls who are gender-based violence survivors. We offer psychosocial support. We also help them on empowerment projects and also send back the young girls at school.
According to WHO, World Health Organization says 38% of women who are abused by their intimate partners. How do you react to those things?
It's very true, because it's rare to actually have someone who's an outsider, who's not close to you, who can abuse you. Because in every abusive situation, there are certain things that you get to notice which are similar. Especially, let's say it's domestic violence. They make sure they isolate you from friends, relatives, so that they can abuse you and you've got no one to tend to. So same goes with someone who's abusing a child, let's say a girl at home. Maybe this is a father. In the eyes of people, he'll be the greatest dad. But then to this child, he'll be a monster. So most of the time, people you stay with are the ones who actually abuse you more compared to outsiders.
Right, could I take us to the everyday programming as WAS? What do you do? And suppose I'm a survivor of gender-based violence. What do you do? What are some of the programs that we have as WAS?
Okay, at WAS, first and foremost, let's say you come in as a victim. We offer you counseling. Then this is a one-on-one counseling. Then after that, we identify your situation. Is it something that really needs to be intervened by police, people of the law? And if it is, we do all the procedures which are necessary. If you need to go to the hospital, you also go to the hospital. Then after, now it depends. If you are young and you are willing to go back to school, we can send you back to school. But if you are a bit older and you want to do something, we can actually help you with livelihood skills that you can do to sustain you at the end of the day. And we also offer group counseling where you get to hear other survivors sharing their stories to empower you to boost your self-esteem, because most survivors actually suffer from low self-esteem. Yeah. Right.
I want to ask to reflect to issue there's a video that's shown on social media of episode being beaten by Mampinja. In those situations whereby the society supports a victim of gender-based violence, but later on the victim stays in a relationship in a violent, what's your advice to people when they're in a violent relationship?
I would say it's hard to leave an abusive relationship. Even if you get support, at times it's so difficult, because that person has brainwashed you into believing that you are nothing without them, you are not good enough, you are broken, you are damaged. So it's more like it's addictive. Yeah. That pain on its own, him beating you, at times you feel like, you know what, today he didn't beat me, I am missing something here. So it's difficult to leave that relationship at the end of the day. So I would say be patient with them. Keep on empowering them up until they make that decision on their own that, you know what, enough is enough. Yeah. I need to walk. Because you can tell them to walk, then they will think about it. They walk, but they will go back maybe after a week or so, because that person is going to come back and say, baby, you know what, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. And at the time they can turn the tables and say, you know what, you're the one who always makes this monster in me wake up. So the next person feels bad at the end of the day. And with what's happening now with maybe the likes of Babe Zodumo, it would be better for her to actually say it for herself. But with other women, they're not financially stable. Yeah. So this this guy who's hurting you is financially stable. So at times you have to stay because you need money, you need finances to sustain you with day-to-day life. So yeah.
Let's talk about our institutions. Kumele want to talk about what you do counseling, you report to the police. Let's talk about those institutions. Are they safe for the victims? Let's talk about our therapy. If you go there and report a case of gender-based violence, domestic violence, are those institutions safe for Omantu to go and report such cases?
I would say, at some extent, it is safe. Just that I normally work with women when I go to the police station. So it's actually easier for the victim to get help from someone who's well-trained, because there is that department called the victim friendly. Those people are trained to deal with victims, and they do help. But then there's another story that I read up on internet about an officer who actually abused a girl who was sexually abused when they were still doing the investigations. So that's why I said at some extent it is safe. At some extent it's not safe, because most people actually take advantage of the victim, especially if they are rape victims. They actually take advantage of them. So now the victim will be afraid to go and report. So I wish and I hope that our government is going to do more when it comes to law. We need to feel protected by the law. We don't have to fear going to report, going to seek protection from the law.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's an online newspaper which ran a story about a policeman who was in charge of a case where young girls were coming for reporting cases of rape, and then he was busy fingering them and also doing all those sort of stuff. How do you feel about such issues whereby the people who are supposed to hold the law, were supposed to protect us, are now also violating our rights as human beings and also going to oppress us as human beings? As someone who is working with women, how do you relate to those issues where young girls are now violated by police officers?
Well, it's very saddening, like deeply it is, because when you seek for protection, you're trusting that person, that this person is going to help me, because already this person is traumatized. So you adding on another trauma. Already the rape trauma takes time. It takes something like 10 years or even more to get over it. So you can imagine after getting raped and someone is doing that to you. I feel like men should actually protect us, even if you are the law. We know that people who are very abusive, they have power, they know you cannot do anything at the end of the day. So I will go back and say, we need the government to do something. If it's possible, why don't the victim-friendly departments have women at the end of the day? Because most cases are going to go unreported. And this is going to make the rates of violence go up. So we wouldn't want that. We are advocating for non-violence environments, but then now the law is actually violating us. So I think we need to strongly advocate for women to actually deal with those issues, and for men as well, because men are the root of the problem. And for us to actually work on this problem and get positive results, we have to work with the perpetrators. Men have to change their mindset. They are not powerful. We are equal, and the more they hurt us, this society or this country can never go forward in us trying to build our country at the end of the day. So I feel like even those police officers who are men, they should be sensitized strongly. They should also go for counseling, because what we have realized is men actually get abused when they are young, and they actually put this at the back of their mind. They don't deal with it, and when they are grown, it comes back. And it depends how they deal with this thing. If they don't deal with it properly, they're going to actually violate other people because they feel like this is what happens. And since maybe I was violated by a woman who's older than me, I've got power over younger women. Yes.
Let's talk about the January 14 event in Bulawayo in particular, whereby you saw the soldiers abusing women in particular and also raping women in some suburbs in Bulawayo. How do you react to those things? And as well as what were you doing to alleviate those problems? Who have you been engaging to? What you guys, this is what happened in Bulawayo and this is our stance, this was wrong.
To be honest, we didn't engage as was, but then we did participate in what other organizations were doing. But I feel that a lot has to be done. I know with rape you cannot compensate, but the compensation that we would want is people getting justice. Even if you wear your uniform, if you do something wrong, if you violate, because women are supposed to be protected when we go back to the Constitution of Zimbabwe. And who are those women that you have raped? They are Zimbabweans, and you also are Zimbabwean, so you know that this is wrong. So at the end of the day, we would want justice to be done. We would want those soldiers to go behind bars, because already those women are living in invisible prisons. So we would want them to go behind bars and actually feel the pain. And also with jail, at times we say people get to be punished. I think that's when you can actually think properly, rectify your mistakes at the end of the day. And this person actually feels safe now that the monster has been taken away. So I feel like the government has to do more. They should justify this whole case, because those women are still bleeding. All women, even me here, I'm still bleeding that this happened to this woman, and it might happen to me as well, because I will respect them, I will trust them because they are the law. Now they are losing our trust. That's the honest truth. They are losing our trust as women. They're losing our trust as a country. So in order for you to start gaining our trust, you need to rectify those mistakes. No one is above the law.
Right. So as also focusing on the girl child, we realize some girls, when they are raped, they fall pregnant sometimes, and they drop out of school. But I focus on the Constitution of Zimbabwe says that every child has a right to education and the right to health. But now Utunano is supposed to drop out of school, and their right is taken away of education. How do you react to those things as someone who's dealing with women and girl child?
I feel those young girls, they should be given a chance to relive, because already their future has been destroyed, their dreams have been shattered, but they can redream again if they are given a chance. Because when it comes to some girls who actually go and report, they say they can actually abort. Already there is trauma there, yes. When they abort, they should be given the chance, and society as well breaks them. Society is more like a broken mirror to gender-based violence victims. So they should also support them that, you know what, this happened to you. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world. You can still dream, you can still pursue your dreams, and they should be allowed. They shouldn't be stigmatized. They should be given a chance to go back to school. Even if they decide to keep the child, they can wait that period when they are pregnant. Then after the baby is born, they should go back to school. They should be given a chance. Yes.
And on this, last week we'll be celebrating the International Day of the Boy Child. Something which seems rare to be celebrated amongst many civil society, maybe many societies. Much of it has been focused on the girl child, and the boy child has been neglected. Do you think that the boy child will be ready for the empowered girl child?
The honest truth is he will not be ready because he was never ready, even now. So I feel like the more we empower girls, we should also empower the boy child on how to redefine society, that it's okay to hurt a woman. It's not okay to hurt any girl, any woman. It's not okay. And they should learn to, they should be taught rather to respect themselves first, so that they can respect that young girl. Their mindset has to be changed, because the society we live in says a whole lot of stuff that the young boy has to do, and it's contradicting to what the girl child is learning now. So I feel that we have a lot of work to do, not just men teaching men. I think we should hold hands, men and women, and empower the boy child, so that we can have a better community, a better country, a better society.
Right. Well, over the past few weeks on the show, we've been talking about the death penalty in Zimbabwe. The death penalty should be abolished or not. And we focus on what when it comes to death penalty, the men are sentenced to death. But if a woman is pregnant, they're exempted from being executed. But again, you compare to some constitution that says every person is equal. There's issue of equality between men and women. But now, as a woman who's pregnant, you're exempted from being executed. How do you report? How do you feel about those things? Is it fair? The guy can be executed, but if you are pregnant as a woman, you are exempted from being executed. And then you come back to the issue of equality.
Okay, when we talk of equality, yes, we are equal as human beings. But then now, if we would execute this woman who's pregnant, we're not being fair, because there's a human being. Maybe we're not even sure if it's a boy child. So, you see? So, this child that she's carrying doesn't know anything. So, it's okay, because we need that child to survive. So for now, it's okay. Up until they decide if this woman should be given a death penalty if she's not pregnant, well, she should give birth. Then, yeah.
Also, we focus on, earlier on the show, we focus on also the state of pregnant women and mama wabamisa emajele and the health system of the entire institutions. It's not fair for women. And some are pregnant in my jail. But is it fair for the child now? Is it fair for the child to be raised in such an institution? Is it fair for the woman now to be inside there with a baby? Right to life, right to health, right to proper sanitation. But there's no Zimbabweans. How do you rate those things as a woman?
It pains me as a woman for a child to be raised in such an environment. And this child, when this child grows, a lot of things happen because he's a child who's very broken. Yeah. And this child might bleed on the wrong people. So the government, I'll always come back to the government, because the government has to, I'm trying to look for the right word. So I feel like the government owes us, because we are the government, they work for us. So they should actually make sure that us as the citizens, we get the things that we need, and we need this child to grow up with a positive mindset. So how about setting up, maybe in that particular area in prison, setting up a proper place for this woman who's breastfeeding, this woman who's pregnant, so that the kids can actually, they know that my mother is paying for whatever crime that she did, because crime is crime, right? But then I don't get to pay that crime with her, because we are punishing the child. And those kids have to actually get free access to proper sanitation, proper health, and even education. So this is on the government. This is on them. They really need to work on that.
Right. Now focusing on, let's focus on the gender-based violence victims. What can you say out there to a woman who's being violated right now, who's being abused by their spouse, by intimate partner? What can you say to them? They're watching the show right now and they say, I'm being abused every day, but in Hlalele is money, Hlalele and support, and Hlalele I'm funding. What can you say to them right now?
I would say, first of all, you're not alone. This whole abuse thing just doesn't happen to someone who's poor, to someone who's not a Christian. Violence happens to everyone. Be it you're in a professional field, you get affected. And don't feel embarrassed about it because you're not alone. It's actually better to get out of it while you're still alive. Yes. And I know that society hasn't been sensitized enough to actually accept and stop normalizing those things. I would say get out of it while you still can. Seek help, talk to a friend. I know it's scary to go to the police because at times I hear cases whereby victims actually go and report, then go back and say, I need my man, I have forgiven him. It's good to forgive your partner, but it's not safe for you because the next time they will not give you a chance to go and report, they will kill you. And when they kill you, chances are slim that they can actually get caught. Because if you're someone who has been isolated, it means maybe people are going to notice you when your body is now decaying. So get out of it, look for help. At times you can actually get empowered while you're still there, getting empowered bit by bit up until you have made up your mind that you want to leave. And don't stay for the money. If you've got two hands, if you've got the brains, you can do anything. I believe that everyone has the power to do something. You can do anything with your hands. You can sell stuff. There's a whole lot of things that you can do to sustain yourself. And if you're not financially stable, because most people will be like, even if I want to start a business, how am I going to start this business? There are organizations that assist. Look for those organizations. They will help you. And if these cases are taken maybe through the courts, these organizations will still help you. They will stand by you. You're not alone. And they will never give up on you. So get out of it while you still can.
Right, Kuda, thanks so much for coming to the show. Thanks so much for your time. And keep on doing the great work that you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right, this has been Know Your Right, and we'll be focusing on Women Association of Survivors based in Bulawayo. And I was chilling with Kuda, the director of WAS, right here in Bulawayo. So next time, Know Your Right was Amalume Nawako, and my name is Brighton Ncube. Hashtag Asaka. Do follow us on Twitter at SizeW. Do follow me on Twitter at The Real Inspector. Do follow them on Twitter at WAS. Till next time, hashtag Asaki.